Any woman could play.
Bring something for one and all.
Bini Baman Bini.
Bring something for one and all.
Shoot Moon Bini Gade.
Bring something for one and all.
Pretty Bago play.
Bring something for one and all.
Shaki John Belebe.
Bring something for one and all.
Money for starting to dance.
Bring something for one and all.
Please give she a chance.
Bring something for one and all.
Any woman could play.
Bring something for one and all.
Bini Baman Bini.
Bring something for one and all.
Shoot Moon Bini Gade.
Bring something for one and all.
Today is the day.
Bring something for one and all.
Pretty Bago play.
Bring something for one and all.
Any woman could play.
Bring something for one and all.
Rings open for one and all.
Any woman could play.
All right. Welcome, people. Welcome back to Soca TV. We are here live once again, and we have an exciting program and discussion here for you this evening. My name is Mindy Giles, and here with me we have Mr. Gregor Breedy, and he will be my co-host this evening. But we also have another co-host this evening by the name of Miss Lucy Regis. We'd like to have to come on screen one time. Miss Lucy Regis, can you just introduce yourself?
On the world, single and free.
Okay, people, if you don't know Lucy, now you know. Miss Regis, you are a co-moderator here today. However, I would like you to just inform the public of who you are very briefly so that they understand your qualifications and your involvement in dance.
I am Lucy Margaret Regis, child of Jesus Christ the Lord. Amen.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Okay,
and
so
I'd like
guys,
to open with a word of prayer. Don't forget the prayer.
okay,
Hi.
let's go with the word of prayer, and then I would introduce the other members of the panel.
The dancer's prayer. The dancer is still and calm. The dancer prepares to share the gift of movement with the audience. In the name of the Creator, the dancer begins. The body kneels in reverence and lies upon the earth, for from within the blessings are unearthed. The human form is nourished and strengthened, and the arms are lifted up rejoicing, praising his holy name. The dancer is touched and anointed and drawn once again to the earth. The plateau of the journey of thanksgiving commences, and the spiritual circle is encircled through this journey, and the body is elevated. The dancer is consumed by his grace. The human form is blessed and gifted. Passion unfolds, inspired. The dancer looks outward within, and from this point, knowing vision occurs, loving, giving, caring, enjoying, humble and dedicated, sharing the blessed gift of the dance. The human form kneels humbly, all powerful, all pure, all professional. The dancer gives thanks. Amen.
All right, thank you, Lucy.
Thank you.
A prayer for the dancers by one of our
blessing.
Yes, our Igbo blessing. So this evening, I want to we are going to discuss our main topic again, which is dance. And the last program, I told you all a lot about myself. I told you that I danced for a very long time. It's actually over 30 years. I know I don't look that aged. Thank you. Over 30 years, and during that time, I have had a lot of experiences, dance experiences, performing on the stages in Trinidad and Tobago for Best Village, for local functions. And all of us older dancers, we have toured the world. Yes, Gregory, you too. We have toured the world, promoting Trinidad and Tobago's culture in Japan, China, India, North and South America. A lot of us went to Africa, and we have seen dance on a world stage. We have seen the quality that dance could be taken to. So today our topic is going to be what about our National Dance Association and what is going on with dance at a national level. So I'm going to ask Mr. Gregor to introduce our lovely panel who is going to be discussing with us dance on a national level from the National Dance Association.
Oh, good afternoon, audience. And thank you for viewing Soca TV. Today we are going to start off with our first guest, the unfathomable Imelda Lynch Griffith, the president of the National Dance Association.
Welcome, Miss
Welcome,
Lynch
Mrs.
Griffith,
Griffith.
Mrs. Lynch Griffith.
Hi, Mrs. Griffith.
I can see her.
Are you hearing us?
Yes.
Okay.
Imelda, are you hearing us?
Okay, no, we're not hearing you.
We're not hearing you.
I'm hearing her.
You're
Hello,
hearing?
Imelda. Imelda?
Okay, we are not hearing. So while we sort out that technical difficulty, we're going to ask Mr. Gregor to introduce our next panelist.
Our second panelist, the well-known ballroom dancer expert at ballroom. He's Mr. Ken Wilson. Mr. Ken Wilson. Hi, Mr. Wilson. How are you doing?
Welcome, Mr. Wilson. Before we go on to our other guests this evening, we would like us to, I would like you to inform the public and the rest of the dance community who may not know you. Just give us a little insight into your experience in dance, and so that they get to know that yes, you are a person involved in our art form in Trinidad and Tobago. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Speak up, Mr. Wilson.
We're not hearing you, Mr. Wilson. Check the volume.
I'm looking Imelda already.
All right, we still seem to have some difficulties, although we did some testing before. So, Mr. Wilson, we're going to come back to you. We're going to invite our next panelist onto the screen.
The ever beautiful, nice, beautiful dancer, African folk, modern, whatever you name it, she can do it. Miss Camille Lynch.
Griffith.
Griffith.
Hello.
Camille, hello.
Good evening, Camille. Welcome to Soca TV.
Nice having me. I am hearing ELG.
Okay, so I know that you and Imelda are in the same space. Is it?
No, we're not.
Yeah, you're all okay. Okay, good. So
Yeah.
Camille, we're going to talk with you since we are hearing you very clearly so far. Can you just give us a little bit, tell us a little bit about yourself, your dance experience and your involvement in dance in Trinidad and Tobago in general before we get into things?
Okay. Well, in case anybody doesn't know, I am the daughter of Imelda Lynch Griffith. So basically, I've been dancing since I've been in her womb. I've been an unofficial member of National Dance Association because of her involvement with National Dance Association for as long as I can remember. I currently dance with Wasafole Performing Company. I have multidiscipline with folk, being a part of the National Dance Theatre Company of Trinidad and Tobago when it was existing. I was an apprentice in the company, so that's my dance experience.
All right, lovely.
Awesome.
Okay, let's see if Imelda got back her volume. Mrs. Lynch Griffith, can you hear us now? Let's see if we're hearing you.
I am always hearing you. You hearing me now?
We are hearing
Okay.
you very clearly. Very clearly.
This 21st century thing that they give me here to put on my ears bothering me.
Oh, that's okay. That's what we want to know. Where dance is doing in the 21st century. So that's a good start.
Ms. Lynch Griffith, I know you were on our last show, so I know some of our viewers have heard a little bit about your dance experience. But again, for the persons who were not viewing our last episode, can you just give us a brief little description of yourself and your dance experience in Trinidad and Tobago?
Could you repeat that?
Okay, we just asked you to give a brief little statement about yourself concerning your dance career in Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh. Well, I've been dancing since I was 13, 14. Started off with, I can't remember his name now. He's passed on. He's now dead. This is bothering me.
Did you hear us without it? Okay, go ahead and speak. Let's see if we're hearing you. Okay, go ahead and speak and see if we're hearing you. Okay, Mr. Miller, we'll come back to you. Mr. Kenneth Wilson.
Mr. Wilson.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
So we're hearing you.
Can you give us a brief introduction about yourself, please, and
Yes.
let the country know about you a little more?
All right. I'm one of the founder members of the National Ballroom Dance Association that was formed on the 3rd of December 1989.
Okay.
And necessarily we were trying to take ballroom dancing to a different level. All the old time dancers, some of them have now gone on, rest their souls.
Okay.
And a couple of years after, we formed another association called the Professional and Amateur Dance Association, because we did not think that the National Ballroom Dance Association was taking us anywhere. So this association has now gone on to international standards. We're doing merit tests for our amateur members, professional exams for students. I have my own dance class, and we're all trying to be as professional as we can. We're trying to form a Caribbean dance council now with the people in Barbados, Antigua, and Guyana, so we could go on to do performances at the World Dance Council when they have their competitions in Paris and in other international countries.
Okay, great. Okay, Miss Imelda. So our topic today is all about dance at a national level. So that's why we have the National Dance Association members here with us. And I'm hearing a little feedback. I'm not sure whose phone it's coming from. I'm hearing a male person speaking. Okay. So, Mrs. Griffith, let's start off with a brief history of the National Dance Association. Could you just give us a little idea of when it started, how long it has been functioning? Because I know we have a lot of young dancers and viewers looking on at us, and they would like to know, get a little history, a little insight into when the Dance Association started, why was it started, and all of that.
Well, the National Dance Association.
Could you hold the mic a little closer to your mouth? Instead of putting on the whole, yeah, just hold the mic closer to your lips so we can hear you.
Better?
Yes, very
excellent.
good.
Okay.
Finally.
I'm going to read something here. In the 60s and 70s, Trinidad and Tobago had a vibrant dance culture, and every year groups came together to present an annual dance festival. And as time went by, dance leaders of the day, encouraged by Miss Marjorie Padmore and the then National Cultural Council, agreed to combine the efforts of the dance leaders of North and South, headed by Mr. Torrance Mohammed, and those of the North, led by Mr. Cyrus St. Louis, to form a national body called the National Dance Association of Trinidad and Tobago. As a result of that, the National Dance Association was founded in 1980 with the founding members being Mr. Eugene Joseph, Jean Tony, Francois Thomas, Andre Etienne, Rajkumar Krishna Prasad. Maybe I should call the groups that they were part of. Eugene Joseph, Trinidad Dance Theatre, Jean Tony, Ujama Dance Company, Francois Thomas, Coribus Dance Studio, Andre Etienne Dance Company, led by Andre Etienne, Rajkumar Krishna Prasad, Trinidad School of Indian Dance, Carlton Francis, who's now deceased, Carlton Francis Dance Company, Mr. Torrance Mohammed, Arawak Dance Company, Astor Johnson, Astor Johnson Repertory Dance Theatre, Mr. Cyril St. Louis Hummingbird Dance Company, and Mr. Eric Butler Contemporary Dance Company, Mrs. Indira Mahatu Dance Company, Molly Ahi New Dance Group, Julia Edwards Pelletier, Julia Edwards Dance Company, Joyce Curtin, Liz Afar Dance Company, Jean Coggins Dance Company, and Mrs. Patricia Rowe of the Curripan School. All those people were the founding members of the National Dance Association that started in 1980.
Ooh, some big
So
names.
the National Dance Association has been in existence since 1980 to this date.
Correct.
Ms. Griffith, well, I started dancing in 1980, so me and the National Dance Association are about the same in the growth of dance. But can you give us a little clarity as to what are the aims and objectives of the NDA at present, or in past and at present?
Ah, boy, the aims and objectives of the National Dance
Well,
Association.
basically the roles and functions.
The roles and functions.
Yeah, what was the exact foundation the association started for? What was the reason? What were they aiming to do?
Well, they wanted these groups to get together. They used to have a dance festival every year. The groups got together to do a dance festival showing all the varying styles of dance in Trinidad and Tobago. And as a result of that, this is how National Dance Association started. It started to have a festival. That was its main aim.
So the role really here was to unite all the various dance groups throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And
Yes, those that existed at that time, yeah.
And the function must be prepared in preparation for a dance festival.
Yeah,
Basically.
we had an annual dance festival.
That was the preparation. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
great.
Ms. Regis, you have anything to ask at this time?
Well, I would like to because am I the also the moderator?
The moderator.
The moderator.
Orator. I write around that oratory. The National Dance Association, well, actually what Imelda said is what I have here in Torrance book here, Mr. Mohammed, where he had these things identified in the ARA Dance Group 50th anniversary, everything. He has put out everybody's name, all the companies. But I want to go further than that in terms of that first event that Imelda spoke about, bringing the groups together and uniting dancers also, because the dancers are the individuals and the groups are the entity. And so in uniting the groups, sometimes the dancers get left behind because the leaders are very familiar among themselves, but the dancers were left behind unless they understand that the bonding was happening there, the unification of North and South. North and South and East and West also. And nothing there. My concern is that it is a National Dance Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Yet during the time frame, I've never been informed if there was any Tobago group or individual within the National Dance Association of Trinidad and Tobago, and I always wondered why. So, Imelda was there in the beginning.
But they had one though. Keisha was there full-fledged. A lot of dancers from Tobago was there in the National Dance Association. Keisha was one.
As
Individuals, yeah.
Yeah, look, because yes, Mella.
Other dancers, the dancers that participated in whatever activities the National Dance Association had, became evident when the National Dance Association started the National Dance Theatre Company of Trinidad and Tobago. Strange enough, well, I wasn't there in 1980, I was abroad, so I didn't see in this listing any group from Tobago in that listing. But Tobago always had some kind of part to play, because I remember going to Tobago and performing in Tobago under, of course, the leadership of Jean Coggins Dance Company.
Okay, so in a nutshell, was Tobago involved in the NDA at all? In 1980 to present?
You're talking about on the executive.
Coming and going, coming and going. Sometimes, how I should put it? Efforts were made for Tobago to be part of the executive and the different executives. The difficulty came in the logistics of travel for meetings and whatnot. And so, things just kind of fell by the wayside.
Fade away.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Griffith, the NDA, as I understand it, is an act of parliament. We hear this being bandied about all over. It's an act of parliament. And in that act of parliament, I know they would have had the main aims and objectives of the foundation, of the association. Can you give us an idea of what is involved or what is stated in that act as the responsibilities or the duties of the National Dance Association? Because I know this is what the government would have sanctioned, and that is why the government would have provided a subvention for. So what are some of the things before we get into a little further? I just want to know, what did the government approve? What is in that act of parliament?
Okay. I have it here. I could read, well,
just a few main ideas.
I will read what I pull out to be the main parts.
Okay.
1. The AAA to foster and promote the development of dance in all its forms in Trinidad and Tobago, and generally to increase the awareness of and to advance education and participation in dance and its traditions, both nationally and internationally. To advise and assist members of the association with regard to any matter affecting their professional character or interest. To maintain and promote high standards of dance in Trinidad and Tobago through the promotion and undertaking of organized research and experimental work in dance, especially in the areas such as Caribbean folk, indigenous dance, Caribbean dance terminology, and the creation of unique styles and techniques emanating from the cultures of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm skipping, to promote the welfare of retired and infirm or poor persons who work professionally or otherwise in the art of dance. To establish a national dance theatre company of Trinidad and Tobago to promote and encourage the development of all forms of dance and the role of dancers in Trinidad and Tobago. To write or produce and to print, publish, and issue and circulate gratuitously or otherwise any reports or periodicals, books, pamphlets, leaflets, or other documents which edify the body dancers and promote the aims and objects of the association. These were actually the aims and objects are A to O. Letters A to O. I just pulled out some of them.
Inala, I would like to ask you to read J.
J. Hold on. H-I-J. J. To ensure that the National Dance Association is recognized legally as the national entity establishing and promoting the entire dance culture and interests of all dances throughout the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The aims and objectives of the association, the aims and objectives of the association are really very ambitious, has always been ambitious. And the fight has been on since 1980, because in 1980, for you to have any establishment, you had you made a constitution, and these aims and objectives came out of that constitution. as to what the association would have liked to achieve for dance in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Griffith. Let's go on to Mr. Ken Wilson on the panel. Mr. Wilson, would you like to state your position on the executive of the NDA, please?
All right. Well, I am currently the vice president of the National Dance Association. It is in the interest of our ballroom association when we examine the constitution of the National Dance Association to want to be part of that, to be an affiliate of it, particularly with respect to the clause that was just read out, to ensure that the association is recognized legally as a national entity establishing and promoting the entire dance culture and interest. The thing is, nowhere in the Constitution is there any hint of the other genres of dance that the NDA is supposed to be seeking the interest of. One gets the feeling that it's all about a festival, is a folk festival, indigenous dance, Caribbean terminology, and those kinds of things. And hence the reason why the Ballroom Association, particularly PADAT, which is the Professional and Amateur Dance Association, wanted to make sure that we could have a lobby inside of the NDA sanctioning and approving the aims and objectives of our association in terms of getting professionalism and stepping away from mediocrity in the various dance styles that we have either socially or that we do for competitions, and to be able to arrive at a common understanding among the dance schools, not the folk dance schools, but the schools that involve themselves in social dancing and competitive dancing, to improve the standards. And then the reason why we on our own have been going abroad, we are bringing down examiners from England. We are members of the International Dance Teachers Association, IDTA, in England. They have now formed us in the area because we have over 50 professional certified teachers with the IDTA here. We do medal tests with our amateur members, so they all get amateur awards and certificates for the levels of dance that they impart on, either at bronze, silver, gold levels, different levels of gold, for the improvement of their social dancing. And necessarily we take these social dancers, we have competitions that we call medalist competitions, where we can now take them to a competitive level.
Okay, Mr. Wilson.
And that's why we came in to the NDA.
Mr. Wilson, yeah,
I'm hearing a little feedback.
I'm hearing my feedback in my leg. I think it's your mic.
I'm not sure who's it from.
But coming from where?
All right, okay. Okay, we're good.
We better now. Mr. Wilson, I heard all what the plans and the formulations of the various dance competitions in the ballroom. Have you, being the vice president of the National Dance Association, have you ever tried to transfer that information and all that contribution or that you have done or you are doing for the National Ballroom onto the National Dance Association as a body representing dance in the country of Trinidad and Tobago? Have you ever tried to do that? Because the Ballroom Association is very successful.
Yeah, the Ballroom Association, while we might seem to be very successful, we still have a lot of things that we need to do. And we figure by being members in the NDA, that can take us even further.
But do you think that that type of leadership should fall under the purview of the NDA so that they will look as though they are doing for the ballroom instead of the ballroom doing for itself. And here we have the vice president who is the head of the ballroom association. I'm just asking these questions. You don't have to answer them, but if you feel to answer, you can answer. Because I feel that if the National Dance Association had that kind of power, where they could do those things and bringing in the examiners and so forth, it would add some empowerment into the it will empower then the association, where it looks as though they're doing something and not everybody doing their own thing and then being a part of the NDA.
Mr. Wilson, I just have a question because I know I don't know you for a very long time. I mean, I've known you, but we have not been communicating for a while. It just sounds like your involvement as the president vice president, is of a personal nature. It's all about, the Ballroom Association, which is very good. That I like that we have a diverse set of genres of dance being part of the NDA. But as the vice president of the whole national association, could you give us a little insight into what you have suggested over the years, or what have you done to help dance on a national level? I know you are all about ballroom, and I know you all are working hard, but in terms of the national dance improvement, the national dance body, could you give me a little insight into what you have done for the national dance?
The National Dance Association.
Yeah, the National Dance Association, meaning dances at
all levels, all genres
of dance. I know your concern is about ballroom, but what about the entire dance body?
Well, we are not into. Remember, all genres have their own different techniques, abilities, things that they work at for their own professionalism. And necessarily, dance is something that I've found that a number of people take it personally. They do their own thing, and then they come back with whatever they have. In the National Dance Association, my coming into the dance association, it was always dominated with folk dance. Everything was about folk dance. The money that comes in, it goes towards folk dance. We raise our own money to bring examiners down, to bring our different professors down to do workshops. We kind of self-finance our own selves, yeah. And necessarily, the NDA is getting a subvention. We would have thought that the subvention would have been now disseminated among the different genres of dance, even among the ballroom fraternity. We have a whole club dancing fraternity. Club dancing. It's separate from ballroom. But at the same time, we collaborate. They do metal tests with us to have their members get even better, to the point where they have now gone on their own without NDA support, without PADAT support, to the World Salsa Congress in January this year, and did well. We are collaborating with them. We are collaborating with their efforts. Everything is about helping each other.
Mr. Wilson.
I have come into NDA.
Mr. Wilson is wearing two hats as the vice president of NDA and as the president of the National Ballroom Association.
She's going through different hassles with getting the own members in NDA to do stuff. People not coming up to whatever they're supposed to come up to in the NDA. MLA is frustrated. Imagine you have an overriding association that's supposed to take care of everybody, but everybody not coming up to assist.
But Mr. Wilson, you just
Miss Lucy, go ahead.
I'm concerned because he contradicted his statement by indicating that NDA is not assisting, but he is also part of NDA. I wish that you should say our instead of they, because you are the vice president of the National Dance Association. And so what is coming across, because I'm looking at the comments. So what is coming across is that you are wearing two hats. And then you're in the National Dance Association, in my view, you're supposed to be wearing the hat of the National Dance Association, especially as the vice president, the second in command. Yeah, that's just my view, but it's not my view alone. I am sharing the views of the dancer on the ground. many dancers who are saying exactly what I'm saying now.
Okay, Miss Regis,
Yes.
I think what happened here is that Mr. Ken, yes, he's wearing two hats, but I think he's more his hat is more wavering to the Ballroom Association, and through the Ballroom Association is how he got into the NDA to make the ballroom noticed and visible around the national community. I think that's what he's trying to say. But let's move on to Miss
I mean,
Camille.
In the NDA, we have been working for the past 9 years with the National Secondary Schools Dance Festival, which the NDA promotes every year, and trying to get ballroom dancing into the schools through that program. Because obviously,
Okay.
Dance is more than just a competitive thing. It's also a social grace.
I've seen many ballrooms.
As far as the ballroom setting is
No, I
concerned.
totally agree with Mr. Wilson. I totally agree with dance being a social grace. But when we're talking national dance, we are talking about all the dances in Trinidad and Tobago, genres of dances being a social grace. And you're representing here today as the vice president of the National Dance Association. So let us keep it in the framework of the National Dance Association and don't deviate to the other different individual genres. And let us keep it what national dance has been doing for dance generally and overall within Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
But I would deviate now. I will need to hear what Miss Camille Griffith have to say. Miss Camille Griffith, would you like to state your position and your role within the National Dance Association?
Okay, currently I am the Public Relations Officer for the National Dance Association. Part of the problem with the position that I hold is trying to get content for our social as well as having an opportunity to advertise the work that happens within National Dance Association. And when I say the work that happens in National Dance Association, I'm talking about, we usually have, based on the Constitution, a general meeting, an annual general meeting, and we're supposed to have an ordinary general meeting. And at these meetings, that we are supposed to tell our membership what the association has been able to accomplish over a year period, a 2-year period, or a 3-year period. Unfortunately, what we have found is that the membership doesn't want to hear what the NDA is doing. And so we have to ask ourselves the question of, why do we even want to have the organization if people don't care about there being a National Dance Association to begin with, since they are not even engaging us? They're not telling us what issues they're having so that it could be at least addressed. If we do put out for us to have a meeting, persons are not coming out. And so it puts you in a place of frustration, as Vice President Ken Wilson just said, where you want to do the work, you want to do things for dance to affect change, but you don't feel like you have the support or the collaboration from the members that you are supposed to be representing. And that is the problem that is recurring throughout.
I want to find out, I heard all that you said, and I want to find out, why are they not responding to you all? I'm trying to figure out if it's a case of the chicken, which comes first, the chicken or the egg. Is it that they are not responding to you, or that you are not, representing them, or to the point that they would want to be a part of, to assist?
So part of the problem that the National Dance Association has is, yes, we have an act of parliament. Legally, we are supposed to be the body that is representing dancers. However, you can bypass us. You don't have to come to National Dance Association if you are looking for funding, for you to be able to do a show, to be able to participate in Best Village, to do anything as it pertains to dance. You don't have to come to us. So in a result, it makes us ineffective in being able to do the job as it pertains to our Act of Parliament. Because if you don't have to come to us to assist you with anything, then what's the purpose? Why are we here? Because there's something called a National Registry. There are persons that is actively being advertised for you to participate or register to be a part of this, for you to get funding. part of the National Registry doesn't even ask National Dance Association if these persons who have groups or are dancers are actually dancers, because people could lie and say that they're dancers so that they could collect money. And that also hampers dancers who actually want to dance and getting the opportunity to get funded, because you may have somebody who's trying to scam the system or may know somebody on the inside to give them that push, which we know happens. But I am happy that we have this forum for us to talk about these different things that has been happening to the dance community, in particular with our relationship with the ministry and the things that they do.
Is it just the ministry alone, or have you all lobbied to the ministry or any other corporate entities to,
We have
to let them know that, okay, if anything to do with dance, you should, come to us? Or is it, have you all done any work on that level?
Yes, we have. We have also tried to get insurance for dancers, because insuring your body is an important part of, you use your body as your instrument. So we were trying to talk to insurance bodies in order to effect being able to give our members that as a benefit of being a part of the National Dance Association. But since corporate Trinidad doesn't see dance or recognize dance as anything that needs to be insured, those conversations fell flat. We sent out numerous proposals, and even when we're trying to do secondary schools dance festival, national limbo competition, all of these different things that have been things that the association did over time, but funding got cut because this person didn't see it as important because the board changed. All of these things kind of hampers the National Association, as well as hampering our visibility within our community and being able to represent the members.
Okay, I just want to apologize at this point in time. We did advertise that we would have an East Indian representative by way of Mr. Radhina. But we haven't made a connection with him, so we do apologize. It was not intentional. But Camille or anyone on the panel, I wanted to find out, she spoke about funding being cut and all these things. And I know a lot of people would want some clarity or some clarification. First of all, about the finances of the NDA, right? First of all, who is the current treasurer? Who is the treasurer name that is on the executive listing?
The current interim is Erlyn Williams, interim treasurer.
Interim. Okay, so Miss Erlyn Williams. Okay, so we have been, I guess you all have been in this position for a very long time. I think Mr. Ken Wilson said 9 years. Well, I guess he's been there for 9 years. I know Mrs. Lynch Griffith would have been there much longer, and I think Camille sometime after that. You all have been there for a long time. Can you give us an idea, any one of you, because I know you're the vice president and president, what is the current subvention that is received from the government? Has it changed? And basically, what has the money been spent on for the past, 9 years or 10 years that you all have been in the position?
The current subvention is $130,000 per annum, given in tranches of 50%, 50%. So we don't get it all one time.
50% is mid-year. The mid-year, so that you get something in January.
I can't remember right now.
Because it's not mid-year.
It's not mid-year.
No, it's not mid-year.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly right now, but right now we should really be getting one of the tranches.
Okay, so you're getting $50, yeah.
You're getting in half and half, 50-50.
Okay.
I think it was 2 years ago, Ken, 2 years ago, that we we had to sign an MOU with the ministry concerning the finances. I don't know where this is coming from. Concerning the finances of the National Dance Association.
One second, Ms. Griffith. Does anybody have, one second, Mrs. Griffith, does anybody have a television or anything around them? If you have a television around you, the waves will come through.
Well, my TV is on.
Your TV is on?
Yeah.
Okay, if you can take it off for us, please.
It mute.
It's still coming through.
Still coming through?
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead.
Right. So we signed an MOU. I think it's 2 or 3 years ago. So every 3 months we have to account to the Ministry of Culture. Every 3 months we have to account to them for what we are doing.
Okay.
I don't have those documents around.
All organizations that receive a grant.
You all are accounting to the ministry every 3 months?
Every
That's
3
right.
months we have to submit to them all our documents, copies of all the documents, statements, bank statements, every 3 months.
So, Mrs. Griffith, I know you said it's 130 and that's mixed up in 2 parts, which will give you something like 70 by
65.
65 by 65, yeah. 65 by 65. How do NDA, what do the NDA do with this first half of the 65? And what do they intend to do with the next half of the 65? I don't want to hear anything.
You can't really do it like that.
I know, but
Really say 65,
what is the
65.
money
What
spent?
happens, the activities for the year, let's say $130,000, 50% goes to the upkeep of the office and payment to the office assistant. The other 50% goes to secondary schools dance festival, the finances for secondary schools dance festival, and maybe we will have a little something left at the end of that. But the money is almost all gone.
Have you all, I know you say you're paying for the building and so forth for your office. Have you all ever approached the Ministry of Culture to get a place where you all could call your own? Like they have the Pan Trinbago have their own space, Tuco have their own space. If you all could get a space and they could assist in that way, have you all ever tried?
In my time, no. We haven't asked.
But that's a good venture there. You should try. You all could try.
Oh, no, maybe no.
Wait, you can tell us where, or if it's possible, if any member of the association want to have a look at these records, see that you'll have to submit them, and they obviously somewhere in the office. Could any member come and request to see these financials, these statements that you will submit to the Ministry of Culture?
I don't see why not.
All right, okay.
One thing I know
that's not a requirement. I mean, necessarily, these accounts are audited every year, you know.
Okay.
It's not as if we're doing something that no one, there's no oversight. Anytime we have to go to an AGM,
the ministry is doing oversight.
Yes.
If they see, they check everything, and if they see that we overpay somebody, they will let us know so that we will have to cover it.
Okay.
Okay. I know I have been I was part of the National Dance Association once, and I know that Camille, you said something earlier about people getting private. The dance communities are being very privatized in the sense of people are hiring them instead of coming to the main body to gather information and so forth about dance. While I was there, I know that the circus, Universal Circus, wanted to use fire in one of the states that doesn't allow fire on the stage. And this was one of the opportunities that the National Dance Association got to shine, because they wrote the fire station from America, the fire service wrote to the NDA to get that permission to use fire. So that's one way that I've seen in there that NDA was very efficient, because they couldn't ask the Ministry of Culture, they came straight to the National Dance Body Association to ask for that permission for the group of Trinidadians, mainly Trinidadians, to use fire. I remember that letter coming in. So you all have some power, but with all the power you all have, I still want to know, anybody can answer on the panel, including Lucy Regis. What is the main problem of most of the dance companies keeping away from the National Dance Association?
I have no idea.
I'll go last.
Lucy, you want to try and answer as somebody on the
try.
outside?
I think it's about respect. The National Dance Association, I love the elders. I was encouraged to come into the National Dance Association with Torrance, and that is how I come to know like what every single thing in the Constitution. We used to say, Lucy, read the Constitution in the National Dance Association in San Fernando Arts Council. I can tell you parts by heart, but the respect that I've seen meted out to dancers, the majority of dancers whisper below their breath. Dancers don't appreciate, first of all, that will keep them away, calling them names. So let me give a clear example. I was much younger then, I'm still young. The March Gras rehearsal. If you are an elder and you are teaching a class and someone come in a t-shirt, mark a name. But you know their name. It is okay to call it in a jovial mood, but in the derogatory way and the bacchanal way, these things just used to amaze me. I used to wonder what is going on here because I really thought that these were the elders. The elders. Nothing against the elders. The elders. The elders also. No, you're not in that set of elders.
No,
the elders.
Thank you.
Information for themselves. They would invite you to Queen's Hall for an opportunity to learn to tie belly hair ties. So there I was in my young state of mind, so excited. And 3 formats were done, and I had all my innocence put in my hand and asked, so can we know more? And in response from the elder then, God rest her soul, that go on do the research. So you call a workshop, and then you are telling people come to learn to do the research. The elders again. The elders, and I'm talking about not just National Dance Association, because most elders, people think are connected to National Dance Association. The elders have to stop this thing with respect to dancers and what you teach them. That you in all of your energy and love and passion say that you want to go and perform for this show. You have to reach 2 hours before. When you arrive 2 hours before, that means that you are there before the show begins and the show ends. And then they give the student box with a buns and a chubby. And the elders used to tell you to shut up and don't say nothing. I've experienced that. I've experienced that from the leader of the group I came from and the people who were elders who I met there as elders. In 1994, one told me to shut up and don't make noise. And I identified that my dancers will not be accepting that. We are eating what those people eating in that secret box. And the disrespect. How can a dancer that is, all right, let me tell you. They're supposed to be dancing on wooden flooring, right? But if they're in ballroom, Mr. Wilson, you can dance with shoes and things on concrete flooring, terrazzo and things of that nature. But internationally, really, you don't see them dancing on no concrete floor internationally in ballroom dancing either. And so they will put us to dance or rehearse for hours and end for the March Gras. Let me say the March Gras. The March Gras, because that's what people used to say a long time. On these concrete floors, so we are there from 9 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock in the evening. For some reason, dancers were treated very badly because there's a particular leader used to walk round and round in circles every day practice in La Prima Girls High School and go like this. I am in charge of your mind. Your mind belongs to me. And so that is why plenty dancers that they get brainwashed. So that stopped them from talking. And then they become adults and they stop they're speaking to their own group and their own core. And they're not expressed. They're there. And for dance to elevate, let me tell you now, for dance to elevate in Trinidad and Tobago, the last time show, someone said that they want to dance beyond soca dancers and things. I was part of the first national dance company. I thought it was a wonderful idea. There must be a national dance company with all genres of dance for young dancers to say, when they're small, I want to be in the national dance company. Then they will start with proper training all the different genres of dance. And so this is what affects the young dancers. You don't really hear them. And it's just that, let me give you a little experience. When meetings are happening to me, and meetings are supposed to be structured And if it's this time, it's 5 o'clock, it's not 6:30 and 7. And if somebody is below 6:30 and you start 6:30, they can't come 8 o'clock and want to change the whole direction. And that is why maybe sometimes nothing will happen. Imelda used to be frustrated then, but she used to go with the flow. She know what I'm talking about. She used to go with the flow, and then things used to stop. Tammy know what I'm talking about to me because she laughed. Yes, the king of carnival. Yeah. Yes. And so you see, these things are very impacting. And the dancers, the National Dance Association is the governing body for dance. Should be sending out people to adjudicate performances. But if you have knowledge and numbers and letters behind and in front of your name, then you have to pay respect to the artist who work hard. You cannot be writing when a dance starts. Let me tell you, I love Terence Mohammed, but my first time I ever adjudicated was in Faizabad Secondary. I was very eager. I was all excited. I'm looking on the stage because the dance is coming on, and he was asking me what corner the dance started in. And so you see, and I have observed over the years, many persons who are elders, who are qualified, who will be asked and invited to adjudicate a show, sitting at the table, but I think they're writing the result for the picture and even dance. People even dance. And this is wrong. You see people that stay quiet and they don't really say nothing. And when you see this going, you know they'll say, buy nuts from me now. Think that's going in nuts bag. This is what I was going in nuts bag. And people that they'll seal it up and throw it for you. And people eagerly pelting the money and eating it. I don't want that. Yes.
Lucy, you said dancers, you said a lot of people don't talk. But we know you love to talk and you will air your views. We hear you.
Yes.
We hear you. That's something
next
you
time.
said.
Write it down.
You said, Lucy, that you said a lot of things that have brought up a lot of points. But I wanted to find out from, I guess, anybody on the panel. Ms. Imelda, you alluded to a lot of things that, a few things that the money is spent on. Camille would have suggested some of the efforts made by the Dance Association in terms of the forum and that kind of thing. So, I mean, after that little bit of money is there to be getting and the funding is almost done, what really could the Dance Association do? What efforts have been made to go beyond that? Is it that we are not? Is it that we are not doing anything anymore because the money are not enough? And I'm hearing it's a television or something.
Who are on the television, please? Okay, thank you.
All right. So I want to know if there was any thought put into what could be done to move forward, because it sounds like we're stagnant. We get this amount of money, this is what we spend it on, and that's it. It sounds like we are stagnant. Is there any discussion or anything? I see Camille shaking your head. What has been discussed or anything to move forward? What other major accomplishment the Dance Association could have for the national dance fraternity?
I think
what could be done? We sound stagnant.
We are stagnant because at this particular point in time, you feel like you're chugging along without any support. You're chugging along to try and see if you could get anything done. And there's support from even within the executive itself, there's a push and pull as it pertains to us trying to come together to get project off of the ground. I would have, so for me, speaking personally, as it pertains to what I feel like the National Dance Association could be doing, and I feel like we're burnt out. And we are at this place where we want people to give us some ideas. All the ideas can't come from the executive. Give us some ideas. Come collaborate with us. We are willing to work with you. We are not scary people where you can't talk to us. We don't have a problem with you saying you giving constructive criticism to help the organization to stay alive and to grow. What I find that a lot of people do is basically make a lot of derogatory statements based on personalities, based on your perception of personalities, and not really dealing with what needs to be done in order for us as a collective of dancers and dance groups to get us some place, for us to have some respect. And so I'm going to say that for right now, we want some ideas. We burnt out. We frustrated. We want ideas. Please collaborate with us.
Basically,
Can I
Camille,
come in here, please?
Camille,
Can I come in here?
this Soka, just
Mr. Wilson
okay,
has
go
the-
ahead, Mr. Wilson.
All right.
Go ahead, Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Ken.
From the point of my being on the executive and representing the Ballroom Association, we have time and time again, every year we put out a program for what we want to do. We invite members of the dance fraternity through NDA to attend our functions. Every year in the month of April, where we celebrate International Dance Day, we organize a massive family day. We invite the NDA to get it out to their members. You come and join us at whatever field we're on. Normally, all we see will be the executive members, one or two of them. And we don't see the rest of the members who are supposed to be in the National Dance Association. We have something called a mini show to celebrate International Dance Day. Again, we invite the NDA. But again, who do we see? Just the executive. We don't see the other members of the National Dance Association. Every function we have for
Do
ballroom
you all
Latin
send those
American,
invitations out?
we send the
Mr.
invi-
Wilson, do you all send those invitations? You send it through the National Dance Station to the heads
Through
of
the
all the
National-
other dance companies.
True, that's right. True that,
Okay.
yeah. Because they will have,
Okay.
they will know where their
Panel, I heard
members
you
are,
all.
their people are. We know where
Okay.
our people are, right? We have a captive audience.
Okay, okay, panel. We heard you all talk on those things, but I still want to know.
And all those things are for
That-
free.
I still want I still want to know
Are you
if
personalizing your
the
jewelry?
NDA if the NDA needs people on board. The NDA needs to send out invitations to get the people on board. What have the NDA done for the dance community in Trinidad and Tobago to come together? Like have training sessions, dance, because long ago what happened, they used to have these dance training sessions in City Hall where all the various groups used to send company members of the companies and they come and they have a nice little Sunday session. Have anything been organized by the NDA in the past 10 years with regards to training of the dancers on a national interest?
Yes,
Of
if I could
Of
remember.
course, we would have had
International- for
training
International
programs
Dance
over
Month.
the past 10
There
years.
were workshops called at
We did a
Napa,
limbo, we did a limbo.
and hardly everybody showed up.
You remember
Wait, I wanna
Lucy?
hear
We did a
just
limbo,
what-
we did a limbo workshop that spanned
What?
within
Uh-huh.
dance month. We did a limbo workshop.
A long
Lucy
time
was
ago,
on the-
ago when Mendy
was on the
came.
executive at that time. And Mindy
Yes,
was
Mindy
one of the
came to see-
teachers.
Yes, and she
Um,
came in for the duress.
The
I know
thing
very
about-
well.
The thing
But the
about
NDA has to believe in the national dance of Trinidad and Tobago, the limbo. Aye,
Of
Baba.
the problem, national dance problem is really finances. We try going to, we went to Toko, is Toko? We had workshops out
Mayaro.
in Toko. We
Toko,
had
Mayaro.
workshops in Mayaro. The
Mayaro.
problem is, remember how I talked about how this $130,000 is shared.
Just
Those the little extra that might happen, the little $10,000 that might 10,000 in savings. How much can you do in 10,000 savings?
Can
How
I?
many
can
people
you-
will want
you-
to go and if we have
That's
to do a training
suggestions.
program, we have to pay for transportation to
Imelda,
carry whoever that we have to go. Yeah?
Imelda, I would like, as the president of the association, how long has you all been getting $130,000? How much years now has that money been the subvention? Because it seems like a little bit now in these times.
I think it's since 2000. 2000. 20 years.
2000,
Yeah, I think it's 1990.
20 years. Whoa.
We've been getting that money.
Well,
In
between.
20, just now, Gregory, in 2011,
So what do you used to get before?
Well, it was 100,000 before, and then it was I think somewhere
And
in
it
the
just
early 90s it was what, maybe a 60,000 or something like that. But we have not had an increase
Oh, but
since we got an increase of
corporate Trinidad
150,000.
used to assist.
No,
But corporate Trinidad used to assist them then, back then.
no,
They had a system,
corporate
corporate
Trinidad
Trinidad.
never.
So they,
Okay,
because the
assistance
NDA
that
was
we
very
get for corporate
successful in the
Trinidad,
past.
maybe $2,000, $3,000. That's small money.
Okay, I
And
think
the association
Yeah, what I'm trying to
cannot
say,
hold it. The association cannot function on barbecue, raffles, cake sale, bake sale. We can't function on that. Our
I pick it up
project
my
has
hand.
to be bigger than
Whatever.
bake sale, cake sale,
exactly,
and
the scope has to be
raffles.
national. The scope can't be just a small area, a small community. It has to be national. So while you want to say, oh well, you have $130,000, all right, let's put together. We're supposed to have secondary schools dance festival, right? That happens over 4 days. So that means I have to pay this venue for 4 days, right? I have to pay for the technical, the lighting, whoever doing music, if it needs generators, transportation for these school children, having security, all of these different things. Do you know how easily that money just disappears? And that's one event. That's one event, and the scope is national. So while people are, oh, $150,000, it really isn't a lot of money if you want to do something that has an impact. When there was the limbo competition, the winning group was $25,000 you were getting once you won the limbo competition. How I could go back to giving a group $2,000 because we lost all this sponsorship, or the NCC decided that they're not going to give the money to have limbo competition because they don't see it as important. People have to understand that it's very easy to be on the outside and point fingers and say the NDA could do this and look, they have that and and all of these different things, than being in the space itself and understanding the uphill battle that we have. The uphill battle is trying to get people to validate the dance in Trinidad and Tobago, as opposed to looking at it as if it is some flyaway afterthought, like, oh yeah, let me get some dancers to try on the stage because they'll make it look pretty. And that is part of the stigma that we also have to deal with.
very nice, Camilla, excellent contribution.
I wanted to find out just a quick question before Lucy makes her contribution. I was in the past treasurer of the National Dance Association, so I'm very well aware of some of the challenges that we may face. The financial challenges is I had to submit those documents, those statements to the ministry. And at the time that I was there, we, in a sense, did fund some dancers in their efforts to do things. So somebody was going abroad and they wanted funding. Somebody was having a show and they wanted funding. No, I know the money was small, but I want to just ask, this is just for my own information, if any of, well, over the last 9-10 years that you all have been in the position, have you all ever supported individual groups in that sense, like that?
Yes, we have.
It just-
We have purchased. We purchased. There have been. We purchased tickets to their shows. We purchased tickets to their shows. We've been involved with the Chinese. What's the name of it?
The scholarship.
Scholarship to Dialan. We've been involved in that. We've also been involved in that.
Foundation.
So
we made recommendations for Sion,
Simeon.
We had to give recommendations to Dialan for that.
And you all also made financial contributions to that as well?
Yes, we have.
We also sat on the panel to choose the dancers to go to DJ.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am not hearing the names of some famous, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of Bacchanal segment. I'm not hearing the names of some.
The hand was up long time,
Let's go with it.
Don't go to the Bacchanal yet. The hand was up because this is not Bacchanal.
No, it's not a Bacchanal segment in that state. We are listening. I am listening about. They keep saying that the members of the dance community do not want to come on board. But I've heard some names in the past that Imelda called, and some of these dance groups are still active. Aston Johnson Repertory Dance Theatre is active. The Noble Douglas. I don't know, Kamala. She will still have a little dance class here or there everywhere. But there are a lot of
Douglas
these.
was never part of the association. She never joined.
Never ever.
Never
But
ever.
Caribbean School was.
Caribbean
Under Miss
School.
Rowe.
La Chapelle.
Right. So Caribbean School now,
Repertory.
Caribbean School, and they have Cascade Ballet.
No.
But they have all these people. Okay, well, they had Caribbean School, basically.
Yeah.
We had the Indian dance groups. They had Trinidad East Indian dance group under my guru, Rajkumar Krishna Prasad.
Right.
Why have these people moved away? And why don't you all try to get them back?
Bernard.
What strategy can you all take as an association? Yeah, Imelda, but it's not you alone, it's an association.
It's right now.
Okay, so for me, one of the things that I wanted us to do, or we did put out a call for us to start building a dance directory. No one picked up and answered the call to be a part of a dance directory. So we have the members, the groups of members that are not in they're not up to date in their dues, but they are still considered members of the National Dance Association.
Not up to date.
I'm looking at some of the comments here where the question was being asked about when is the next general meeting. We were supposed to have a general meeting. Actually, is it an ordinary or AGM on May 17th? AGM
in January.
AGM with elections.
In January, we changed the date to February. Dancers reached out to us and said that how they were not able to come. We made a decision because we were going to go in straight into organizing secondary schools dance festival before everything happened with COVID, that the new date for us to meet would have been May 17th. And of course, we are aware of how the situation is at this particular point in time where people can't congregate. Now, I know that there's something called online, and if, based on all of the comments that I'm seeing, if people are willing to participate in an online discussion or even a meeting so that we could start building up the National Dance Association, start dealing with dance representation, we are all for it. Again, I want to reiterate, we are here to collaborate. We are willing to collaborate. It's not just the ideas of the persons that are on the executive. It should be ideas that's coming from the persons that we are representing. But we also need to know what these ideas are. And if you are not talking to us, then we wouldn't know what the ideas are.
Camille, can I ask you, I just listened to your voice. Can I ask you what are your qualifications? I'm not talking about in dance. I know you was away for a few years.
I have my associates in computer studies, and I am in my final year for mass communication.
I want you to share what's your vision.
Mr. Wilson.
What is your vision? You would say for dance in terms of the business of the dance.
Could you repeat that for me, please?
What is your vision or your concept of the business of the dance? Because there's business of music, the business of the dance industry, the business. Yeah. Let me hear your concept because I have a list, I told someone today I have a list of persons I'm looking at, prospective presidents. And your name is on the list. I'm very bold for you, sir. I want to know.
Personally, one of my ideas as it pertains to funding dance, because, okay, so this is the way how I feel. The way how I feel is that we have a lot of administrators within the ministry who are not dance practitioners, in my opinion. There are one or two, but they're not in a position of influence to talk about our issues. Or if they are talking about our issues, they go on deaf ears. So for me, dealing with the ministry is literally making sure that they recognize us as the legal entity for National Dance Association. My idea is that we literally send them an official letter from an attorney in order to give us those powers that would legitimize the association by having us be able to say, to legitimize groups that actually are existing, and that it would eliminate having individuals who are fraudulent benefit from the monies of Trinidad and Tobago under the guise of saying dance? That's the one thing that pops into my head. I probably have to think about it a little bit more and come back to giving you an answer. But that's the major thing that always jumps into my head first. Apart from that, the other thing that's coming up is we need to have folk dance workshops, not something that's a day, something that's over a 3-month period that's happening every weekend on a Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. where we break down, let's say in the folk dance, the ballet, for instance, you have a ballet, a head tie. How is that head tie the original way how the head tie was tied, apart from the improvement or the evolution that happened in competition for Best Village, because there is a difference. But we need that in order to preserve the folklore as well as education of where these came from. So as you all know that I am a part of West Wasafoli, which is West African. And when you see dance steps in West African dance, I see the genesis of folk dances. And there's that link there that a lot of us don't know. And I feel it's part of the education scheme that we need to talk about as it pertains to dance. Dance is not just movement. Dance requires you to be able to move your body, yes, but you have to use your mind in order to move your body. So those are the things that jump out at me in answering your question.
Well, that was a part of the business. I want to know where can people to pay their due, their annual subscription? Because that office in St. James, I would feel the office should be the bank account where you can go to the bank account associated with NDA and some Facebook profile that should be blasted there because people will leave Clyde Point 14 to go to St. James to pay the annual subscription. And so my members, some of my parents asked me, what I paid NDA for? All right, so sometimes I just wonder that myself, but we know that you have to build the governing body and things of that nature. But in my search for the future president, I have a list here that whoever becomes the president will immediately be prepared to demonstrate in. There's some people who on the chat also commenting. Some of them have some views there too. Formation of the national company, paid and contractual. You might have paid choreographers, etc., etc. The president should be prepared to also be the director of the company, right at 3 o'clock in the morning. A secretary and marketing professional, initially stipend. The secretary and all. But then you have marketing, you have nothing. Go big. Media. Brand the company. Brand it through investment, collaboration, partnership. Partner with, I'm not saying everybody because you don't want to partner with the other negative effects. Invite specific ministries to partner. I won't tell you to bully them, but you have to be there.
Right.
Culture and tourism specifically, auditions. Every little child growing up in a dance group wants to become a member of the National Dance Company. Moving the office to Central so that we'll be meeting halfway, but I'm always concerned about the Tobago aspect also. But no matter where you move the office to, they'll have to come. Meet with the minister, meet with the president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, who once you get her like signature or whatever, you could say under the president or whatever, she has funding, the president has funding to give to organizations. A president that must be confident in their skin and fearless. So Camille, right now, you have my list of the top people, but I'm still looking because it has to have somebody that's interested in the business of the dance in this new era. And why the national, and they have got a tech savvy people. So Mr. Canwell, so when you say that you give NDA the information to put out there the ballroom things or whatever, how is it sent? Everything, because I just see all the posting. I see the posting because I just make friends on Facebook with people who in ballroom and all kind of different things. And so when they go play, you know a message is coming that it's having something. But most times you get to find all these things 2 days before. And if you have a schedule, then you know that you will be prepared to do that. I think also right now the NDA should go and meet the minister because it's election year. They might want to put out a little money. They just had a festival of music and instrumental of music. So maybe we can ask dancers to send some videos to adjudication, and their response. Dance is the mother of the art, and we must remember that. With
Lucy,
another hand up.
we sent a whole dance profile to our present minister.
Go
The
send it.
letter was dated the 30th of June 2017. The
Uh-huh.
profile had our constitution, the act of parliament, all the brochures that we have ever done and put together, all the activities that we have done over the years. And to this date, we never got a response and
They have no
acknowledgement
respect. All right. Hi, Festa comes to mind. Let's be okay.
So,
No, but apart from that, we followed up with that
This is
in
it.
particular for Carrie Festival for last year, and we haven't heard anything from them. We did.
Well, I know.
so
Sorry, Festa is
so
taking
Listen,
a
let
year
me
now.
tell you something. Two things. Since 2006, I came back home in 2006. I've been trying to revitalize the National Dance Theatre Company. You can remember in 2006, we had Carrie Festa. We put the dancers together as a dance corps for Carrie Festa 2006, and we performed.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Yes, I
you
was
can't
there.
maintain the group. You can't maintain the group because of lack of funding.
Apart from
2006,
mhm.
2008, we worked our way in getting ourselves as one of the delegates that went to Guyana for Carrie Festa. Myself, the PRO at that time, which was Helen Brown, and I think it's only four of us. We went to Carrie Festa at government expense, but we didn't pay for anything. We went to Carrie Festa in 2008. In 2011, again, and that same what we are calling dance for, to show the ministry that we have such a dancer that you can again pick up, because the National Dance Theatre Company was done in collaboration with the ministry, acknowledged by the ministry, and supported by the ministry. Not so, Lucy?
Yes, I know that, but you see, Imelda, I think you are some stumbling blocks there.
In 2011,
Yeah.
I went
Miss Imelda, are we getting a little echo again?
I don't know.
Imelda, we get a little feedback.
It's not from me. I've taken off everything. In
All right,
2011,
Okay, we hear you now. Go
we
ahead.
put forward to the ministry a Caribbean Dance Festival. The ministry renamed it Decades of Dance, and we had a Caribbean Dance Festival in 2011. We started again, we did auditions again, and we got some great talented dancers and formed the dance corps again to perform in the festival. That's 2011. 2013, we asked the ministry to be represented as to be part of the contingent to go to Suriname for Carrie Festa. They tell us point blank, no. If you want to go, you could go by yourself, which we did. That take our whole subvention, and we went to Carrie Festa in Suriname. Well, again, how far we reach, Camille?
The March Gras.
So what, no, but I'm even ready, I'm not even talking
The
about
March
those
Gras
programs.
2020. The March Gras 2020 advertised the story of the sailor mass. My mother is 80 years old. She sat in this living room and wanted to know if it only have one sailor step. So NDA as the vanguard should be aware that whoever the choreographer was, you were part of that discussion on Facebook, again, Facebook junkie. When somebody put it there, and they were asking. It took a while until this Camille Kelly, you answered after a while, and you said it's not my mother. So therefore, that should have come before instead of people they real proactive instead of reactive. And so that choreographer did an injustice to the sailor dance. I expected to see those elderly men in UE who did those authentic sailor dance with their sticks.
We
Right
can't
on.
really interfere with the vision of the director of the March Graph.
I
That
know.
is what he wanted.
Yes.
I was there. He didn't ask me a word. That is what he wanted. That was
Imelda, your
his
feedback again.
vision. All right?
Imelda, your
Now,
feedback.
the National Dance
Okay.
I don't know
Association,
where the feedback coming
just
from.
like Gregor, the National Dance Association, just like the San Fernando Arts Council, need to understand the power of media. The present president of Pan Trinbago, that woman was on the air every single day. She was out there until people seen her. Some people didn't know who she was. She was from Tobago. But dancers will see the president. The National Dance Association need to say when the election will be held, how people could register, because some people are asking that online, and it should have online registration with forms. And although when I pay my fees, have a group chat, because I was never in this group chat. I only found out the postponed moment is when you graduate. I tell you how much income that day, whatever, and you send me this postponement side. How would people have known that if I was on the chat, I would have known. So that means that the association was not advising membership. The next thing with money, let me tell you, there was an organization in San Fernando that formed 4 years ago, where this organization, they had no money, no funding, but it was 6 of them. They sat by their phones together, like they decided to do that a week, and they called every school because they wanted to put on these magical storyline shows. 2 shows, 5 days a weekend, 2 shows a day, all was sold out. The second year, principals were carrying their personal children to audition for this show, and the shows were all sold out. On the Saturday, they had a free show and a set of refreshment. And that is how people will know the NDA have so much of dancers that it will have to use a core. It has schools they can identify. You ask them to come, they will be willing. I'm telling you that they'll be willing to come on their own steam.
Okay.
I just wanted to mention some things that people had put in the chat. Somebody asked about, I didn't put the name, somebody asked about communication. They said the NDA keeps communicating it, but they don't receive anything. So I'm going to take the executive word for it that they have been sending out information to the group's leaders. And so I would want that person, I want all the dancers in this forum who's listening now to go to your leaders and ask them if they have received anything from the NDA and they have ignored it. Because then the problem will be at that juncture. The leaders are receiving information and not bothering, but then the dancers would not know. Right?
Yeah.
It's always never give
go to your
the I can tell you.
Go to your leaders and find out if they have been receiving information and just ignoring it or feel that they don't want to do that particular function or whatever it is. The other thing, I saw Miss Erlyn Williams, she did pop up on the chat saying that she's the interim treasurer.
I should
That she probably did not know about this forum. I would ask you, Miss Williams, to take that up with your president. Ms. Patrian, I saw a very long contribution. I can't recall all of it right now, but thank you for your contribution and all the other dancers who are making very good suggestions on the side. You all are making suggestions there, but I urge you to don't just throw it out in the air and send it into this forum. Go to the NDA and make your contribution. And the last thing I wanted to say, someone asked if the NDA is the umbrella body for all types of dance, and thank you to Diana and Makiba. They did answer and said yes, the NDA is responsible, or they try to represent all genres of dance in Trinidad.
Well, on that note, I would like to ask the NDA now. We're into the COVID-19 era. What have the NDA done for dancers? Now, a lot of dancers and choreographers have been put out of jobs those who use this as a form of gaining
Yeah.
financial gains, getting financial gains, they have been out of work. What have you all done to assist the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago who are dancers within your association? Have you all sent out information to the Ministry of Social Development stating, you give them letters stating that they'll be out of jobs, those kind of things? What have you been doing for the COVID-19?
Well, we've been in communication with the Ministry of Social Development, and the information that they have on the website is the information that they have told us that we need to share with the membership. So we put it on all of our socials in order for persons to be able to access it, as well as they were sent in the WhatsApp chat links for where forms can be filled out and such.
You know, when you're filling out these, unfortunately, when you're filling out these forms, you were supposed to get something from from the body of your work, stating that you are a dancer, and now you are being.
But you see, based on what it is you are saying, right? Then you are saying that the National Dance Association should be endorsing dancers. But if we don't have the power in order to do that, which we do not, because we are not recognized, even though we do have an act of parliament and is a legal entity, the ministry, yet again, and this is a different ministry, does not recognize us in that light for us to be able to put our stamp on a document for a dancer to be able to go in to get the salary relief grant.
Well, I guess that's where Lucy came in, and she said earlier
I applied for what?
Self-employed. So you went in of your own accord, on your own strength, not off of the strength of National Dance Association.
No, because they have self-employed grads.
Okay.
They have to apply, and when you do the process, they send you this automated response indicating. It have a lot of things going on with that, and it's just that I don't even really believe it. I just wanted to know if it's really true. And so, because if Carrie, let me tell you, can the disrespect wasn't there. They sent me to change in the audition in a toilet, and that is not keeping. The girl is telling me, wait a while and I'll get someone to change. I started to sing Whitney Houston tune for her. And so when they sent an email, it had no invoice, you know. They sent an email saying that this is the amount that you're being paid. So I don't understand the kickback for the finding of the invoices and things of that nature. It's just that Facebook to me is a powerful tool. Every single day I was on Facebook until in the end, it just takes one day for me to get my thing. After I have to call somebody who I was talking to, my grandson showed me, I'm not those tech yet. He said, Granny, you want to see who like and who doing thumbs up? Okay. The thumbs up was one specific person. I had to act fast and tell her, I know she's reading my post. So they read. And so we have to make ourselves more visible on Facebook. Breaking Dawn is a powerful tool with Stefan Reyes. People listen to those programs and they actually hear. Sometimes when Sprangalang was working as an advisor in the ministry, he said, Lucy, the elevator goes up quicker and comes down than the information in the file. And he was an advisor there. And it's just that Imelda was in the ministry as a cultural officer first. She know the problems I went through in 1995 when they say I collected something and I never collected it, and I was my own event, and dancers need to be more proactive than reactive, because I never got that, but it was said I got it. And I'm not going by nobody's office to do anything, because that person had no right to have it. It's just that it's on the group. So we have to be aware of things that affecting dance and dancers. But my last statement will be more things out there for little girls and boys. I am not talking about the ones who's 20-something to 30 yet. You understand? The little girls and boys who like, let me see, from 8-9 years, who will dream of representing Trinidad and Tobago in the National Dance Company, in a junior company and a senior company, that tours will be planned, that will be envisioned and sending things overseas. So that therefore the vision and the dream wouldn't be to dance behind a soca artist because that was their option.
Miss,
I want to answer Janine.
go ahead.
We did not get any responses from any of our membership, Janine. We did not get any responses.
Janine Farry,
Yes.
it's
You all
updated.
asked the membership, did you all put it out there that you all can be
Yes, we
you all
did.
can represent dancers and okay.
So what we are
I
looking
didn't-
for, basically what we are looking for is a synergy between the dancers and the governing body, which is the NDA. We don't have that synergy, and I think that synergy alone will give you a good team. And we are lacking team spirit right now
Yeah.
as we speak. We are lacking
Yeah.
team. So we are here today not to bring down the NDA or bully
Or
make
bash.
or bash
Or-
the dancers or bash the thing. We're here today to bring things in a harmonic strain. And how do you feel the National Dance Association from here could go forward in enhancing and empowering their position, and two, uplifting their membership? How
Can
you
I-
feel it could go forward?
Okay, so I'm seeing that Shaquille Jones is writing and saying that how what has the NDA done as it pertains to advocating for us to be able to be recognized as a body. Short of the number of letters going to meetings, we are not 100% sure at this particular point in time what else the National Dance Association needs to do in order for the culture, the vision, or the Ministry of Community Development to recognize us. They ask us for documentation. We give them the documentation. They ask us for the projects that we have completed. We give them the projects that we have completed. We show them all of the different things that the association has as it pertains to our objectives and what we are supposed to be able to do. And as of now, no response, silence. So as easy as
Media.
I agreed. That's the other part that needs to happen at this particular point in time is probably that. Probably let's have a march. Let's march about getting respect for dancers, to having respect for the organization that is supposed to be represented.
Media.
Let's have a group. No, but the thing about it is, these are things that we've talked about. There's a National Dance Association that we National Dance Theatre Company that once existed. It does not exist anymore. We have put forward to the ministry on several occasions that this needs to exist because there's a National Philharmonic, there's a National Sea Orchestra, there's a National Theatre Arts Company, but there's no National Dance Theatre Company. Why? Ask these questions. Did as much as we possibly. Are you guys still seeing me? Okay. Ask these
Yes,
questions
ma'am.
of the individuals who are in positions of influence. They gave us an air. So we have had talks with persons in advertising, in the media, but these
Yes,
stories
ma'am.
are just out there. So maybe I could talk to Janine so that Janine could put it out there on behalf of the National Dance Association about the plight of the organization to get us recognized so that we will be able to do the work that we would like to get done. Also, I want people to understand, based on reading out all of the objectives of the association, this cannot be done just by somebody who's volunteering. And we want to liken ourselves to an organization like Tuco and Pantrimbago. The two things that Pantrimbago and Tuco have above us is, one, they have their membership that is working with them, and two, the jobs are paid, so they constantly are working at how are they going to do education, workshops, maintaining the culture of Calypso, maintaining the culture of when the president makes a stand on behalf of the Steel Pan organization, all of the members stand behind her. Same thing with Tuco. Unfortunately, when you feel like you have a weight on your back to try and pull an organization where you don't have any support, it's very hard for you to see the results that you would like to see from the organization. We say very easily to criticize instead of how can we assist the organization? If you want to be on the executive, elections are going to come on the executive. Be the change you want to see. Please don't say that we don't want to see change. That's not true. We are willing to work with anybody.
The composition of the executive had to be really united. I was on the executive, remember, please.
I agree with you, Lucy. I agree with you.
I realized a lot of the questions came up saying you all need to write to Dr. Rowley.
We did.
I feel
I
feel what the executive is really, from my point of view right now, from listening to everything to wrap up this, I really feel that the executive is missing dynamism. It needs to be a little more dynamic. You don't need, you have to stop writing letters and start walking. You need to go to the offices, and even if you have to stand up there for 5 hours, you need to stay there for 5 hours to see the people. Because the letters are being tossed on the tables and thrown into bins. We need to get there in person and talk to the people and tell them your plight. Because you are very passionate talking on this right now. Imelda, you are passionate, and Ken, you are passionate. Lucy, you are passionate.
Let me tell you, we have talked to my Minister Marlene McDonald when she was part of the Ministry of Culture. We talked to her. We talked to Winston Gypsy Peters and about getting us on why we're not part of the NCC board. We also have an active parliament. That didn't happen. Who again? I didn't go.
We also talked to the current Minister of Community Development, Culture and the Arts as well.
Oh, Jody,
it's not that we haven't had a...
we talked to her, and through her, she gave us the money to do our limbo competition for the 2 years that we did the limbo competition, to be able to raise the limbo to a level and to encourage more people to participate in the limbo. She gave us that money.
Workshops.
Okay, so
I don't know.
I have seen. I want to be here, and I want.
We need young blood. We need more people to be interested in it. We need another generation of people.
Where can people go online to register?
We need another generation to take it up.
Kelly,
my generation moving out. My generation is moving out.
I want to compliment the executive, because I know it may come across as a bashing moment, or people tend to get defensive, but I want to say that everybody, including the not only the panelists, but people who are sending in comments, they are saying that the ministry or the corporate society is not giving us respect and is not showing us respect. I have seen on the NDA's part to try to treat dancers a little better. I saw some efforts being made during the recent carnival for the Mardi Gras, and how they're being treated, the things that they're being fed, the accommodation, and those types of things, right? And I want to say that the treating the dancers with respect needs to start from the NDA, and I see them making a little bit of effort, right? It needs to come between dancers, the different ways that we can show each other respect. I see that other people in the comments are calling for more visibility, more use of social media, and I agree with them. But because we have to wrap up now, I want to ask if this current executive, because people asking about elections, Imelda is saying young blood, people are saying we want more ideas, come and work with us, I'm hearing everybody's having their ideas and everybody's energy is raised. We want to know where we're going from here, because most people are suggesting that new elections, new persons, new ideas, new energy is the way to go. What are you all saying about elections? And are you all willing to step down and let a new group of people take over or something like that? What is going on with elections?
At AGM, the intention of the AGM was to have elections. So the current executive would present all of the different reports as it pertains to the tenure that they have had, what projects were done underneath whichever banner they hold, and then elections would happen. We would nominate persons and elections would happen. That was the intention of having the AGM.
That's in February.
That would have been in February, and then the new date would have been May 17th. So it's just to put the new date together and figure out how we're going to be able to have an election through social distancing. So that the logistics of that is what it is we have to work out at this particular point in time.
And how do we get registration forms so the people who want to sign up and they don't know where to go to come into the NDA?
Registration forms, because so let me be the techie person at this particular point in time. It could make it into a Google Doc so that I'll be able to place the link onto our social, mainly more Facebook, because you can't click on a link on Instagram in order for you to be able to register the information. To register for the association, sorry.
And how do you
annual subscriptions?
And how do you join the association? What qualities you need to join the association?
It have a listing.
Say that again?
The qualities to join the association. Anybody can join the association, or you have to belong to a group.
Or you have to be a dancer, you have to show your qualification.
No, you don't have to be a dancer. Wait, hold it.
So drummers can be part of the NDA as well. Anybody?
Are drummers part of the NDA?
Of course, they could.
Of course.
Casa drummers also?
Pardon?
Casa drummers also?
Yes, and they were part of the National Dance Company.
Drummers?
Yes, we're talking about drummers.
Yeah, we just want to be clear, because what happens is that a lot of times we seem to be ignoring the other side. We think, like Mr. Ken said earlier on, we think the NDA is just folk.
Right.
And the NDA is not folk alone, because long ago in the 80s when I used to go to these NDA workshops at City Hall,
it was everybody.
Indian, everybody was coming to teach a class. And we have to return to that. If we do not return to that, we cannot just dance for the March Gras and expect when the director calls, you have to go by an Indian group to get an Indian group, an African group to get an African group. We're supposed to get the NDA providing all these things because the dancers will be holistically trained in all the different genres. And that is what we're looking for.
That's what come from there.
From the NDA.
Another question concerning the registration for the upcoming elections, because everybody's saying that that is the way forward. With respect to subscription, with respect to the subscriptions, could you all at least give us an idea what is the structure of these subscriptions for like groups, individuals? Would it have to be paid before for persons who have not been in the association for a long time or haven't paid us a subscription for a while? Would they be able just to come and pay and be able to vote? What is that whole system about? Do you all have an idea, or you all need to go back and discuss it? Or is there already some sort of structure in place?
The old members, they just have to pay up this subscription and will be eligible to vote. The new members, I am not I am not sure that they can vote immediately, because the members of the executive have to
approve the registration.
They can't apply the day of the election to be a member.
Yeah.
But some members of the executive
Let me read something concerning the ruling.
Yes.
Membership.
How long we have to be a member to be able to vote or to be able to put in a position?
Yeah, so it's 6 months.
A member or a member group must operate in Trinidad and Tobago. It must apply to the committee for membership. It must agree to abide by the association rules and bylaws. It must have a requisite number of its bona fide members. It must have geographic and other relationships with other dance organizations. It must be financially stable. It must have organization capability. It must have a duly constituted body representative of its members. Its approach to dance and dance traditions must be considered, and something about other factors. That's about membership.
So Ms. Griffin, basically, you all can put all of this, get on your Facebook information and even the copy of the Constitution so that the members can see. Is that
Yes.
possible?
Yes, that is possible.
All right. There is you have the Act of Parliament, and I think you are doing a fantabulous job, NDA, with the amount of money you're getting and with the lack of support from the dance community in its full. And I would like to say that
not only the dance community, lack of support from the ministry also.
Well,
the
that's the
ministry does not engage us or challenge us in any form. They don't ask us to do any project. They don't ask us to be on any board. Yes, a dancer may be on the board, but the dancer who is on the board, it is not from the recommendation from the National Dance Association.
But we need
somebody in the ministry just pick up whoever this person dancing, and we know they have a dance group, and so you say they're on a board. So the ministry needs to recognize the association as a legitimate body. Otherwise, all the things we say in here, we're going to be operating like if we are a dance group, and we're not a dance group.
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. That's what I was saying earlier with it. We need we need to start walking. We are talking talk and not walking the walk.
Nah,
we need to start walking. The most important thing I need to say here is that when you look at Pantrin Bego and Tuko and all these people, there was a kind of a riff-raff going on before, you know. They wasn't silent and being also nice about it. So you have to get out there. You have to get out there and really make, just how you're sounding here now, passionate, you have to go and let these people see how the passion is. Because I feel personally, dance is not represented anywhere. We have to beg them for dance to be represented. And if it is represented, it's always like an entertainment.
We have a benevolent and the director of the Master any of the carnival activity that will include the National Dance Association and ask the National Dance Association to provide dancers. They don't ask us to provide choreographers. They ask us to provide dancers.
Okay, so then
yeah.
Well, then you all shouldn't just accept that. You should say something about. Well, I mean, let me ask: have you all asked or said something about that, or did you all just accept it?
We accepted it because we didn't have a leg to stand on. We could say no, and what would happen is, well, okay, so if you it, we could get a group A, B, C, D, E, and they will get the proper thing, and National Dance Day will not be called. So you're just thinking of showing that the National Dance Association is still in existence and functioning when you get dancers together for this particular activity.
Well, now I'd like to ask Mr. Ken Wilson. Mr. Ken Wilson, what's the way forward? How do you see, what solutions can we gather from this? How do you see we going forward in 2020 and beyond?
Well, obviously, we have to continue making efforts to try and be heard.
Yeah.
Because we all have something to contribute as far as dance is concerned. Dance is more than just performing on a stage. You know, dance has educational, social, and other benefits to all the nationals of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm very particular that when we do get things going and our elections are coming up, we are very mindful of who we're going to be selecting to put on the executive, because we don't want to get to a point where we have now square pegs in round holes.
Agreed.
And necessarily not being able to manage the association from a point of professionalism in terms of management.
Agreed.
We have all the people who could dance outside as members, so we could rely on them for the glory of dance. But for the management that the association needs to be now the overarching body we should have some professionals in the executive. People who
Totally agree.
understand
I agree.
business,
I totally agree.
marketing, public
I
relations,
coaching for
about that kind of people to walk into and make a statement, and we are heard. From
So they
that
must be
level.
qualified for their positions.
That's
basically
right.
what you're saying. Yes,
That's
I
right.
agree.
You must
I
have
agree.
qualified personnel in the
Then
different
they should know.
genres of the different, not so much genres, but necessarily how we govern
The business of dance.
Yes.
the business of dance. Yeah, business
Right.
dance is
Nothing is
an
wrong.
industry.
Totally agree.
Dance
Business.
Nothing is wrong with
industry.
trying to get representation too. I think nothing is wrong with trying to get representation across the board. But I agree with you when you say they must be qualified for the position.
Yeah,
I
dance
agree.
is an industry. It needs people who understand what strategic planning is all about. All right, and how we're gonna now move forward step by step with different parts of the strategic plan, because it ain't gonna be done overnight.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but you need to communicate this
It
to
comes
people.
to
If
work.
people don't know, they will think that you're not doing anything. If people not getting the information, and that's that's another part of it.
Right. Camille,
Can I-
thank you very much for your contribution.
Hannah, okay?
No, I just want to wrap up.
Oh, yes, and I then also have to
Before Camille wraps up, because I know
Okay.
everybody will have their last statement to make before we wrap up. Lucette did bring up the point about registration for the election. And she suggested that we give people a time frame to make sure that they get the information, one, and that people get the enough time so that they are able to vote. Because I don't want you all to say, okay, we're going to do this next month, and then if I register within this month, I would not be able to vote.
Right.
Because you might have an
Right.
influx of people willing to come in
Totally
and help,
fair.
and then they can't. I just wanted to throw that out and
Okay, I just want to answer what Lucette is saying about the restructuring. The president at a particular, I can't remember what year it was, to the membership, 2012 had put out to the membership that we restructure in a manner the way how Pan Trinbago has it, where there's a head office, there's an office in San Fernando, there's an office in Central, and there's a Tobago office. So the thing about it is some of the ideas that are being talked about in the comment are ideas that have been presented, and then it disappeared in thin air because people stopped coming to assist. And then I also want to point out something that Perron pointed out, which is actually true. For a long time, part of the reason why the National Dance Association at this particular point in time hasn't gotten the kind of support to, and I have to recognize, as he said that, is that presidents in past have been self-serving. They have been looking out for the benefits that they could get from the National Dance Association for themselves. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, the current president, that is not her modus operandi. Dance is something that's an incredibly passionate part for her, which is why she decided that it was, instead of having her own group, be a part of the National Dance Association and hope that we could come together underneath an umbrella to work towards bringing dance to a particular level and being respected within the community. So I want to make sure that that is like the last thing that I want to say going forward. I commend Sean for bringing forward this as a great opportunity for us to have a frank conversation about dance, about National Dance Association, because we have been asking internally for ourselves, why National Dance? Why NDA? What's the purpose of having an organization that is supposed to be representing dancers as a collective, as a whole? What is it that we need to be doing differently in order to get persons to give us feedback? And apparently it was creating a show on Facebook. And I really think that it was very cool, that it was innovative for him to come up with this platform. And we are, as in, I will speak for everybody else on the panel, that we're really, really happy to participate in this and to show that we have been doing things and we would like to collaborate. And we are not interested in holding on to power. We have no problem with the new board coming on to take the association to another level. It's just that maybe this executive has done as much as it possibly can, and somebody else needs to take up the mantle. And that's okay.
Thank you, Camille. I just wanted to mention something. You know, somebody mentioned the entire board stepping down and new fresh blood coming in. But sometimes we have to be very careful of that because we don't want to repeat mistakes. We would want some elders there or somebody who has been there, at least probably on a consultation level, so that we don't repeat our mistakes, right? It makes no sense reinventing the wheel, right? I just want to put that out there.
Well, dancers, that go back to what Shaquille said in his interview, Shaquem or Kadeem, and he said that we need to be a little more mindful and be respected. I think as soon as a dancer reaches 35 or 40, the young ones throw them out and say they're old. Mind you, I stopped counting at 16, so I am evergreen. But basically, they just throw them out, and we have lost a lot of dancers in the doldrums through that. One dancer who keep working every year, and we seem to forget her. I don't know why. Maybe because she's in a ballet. Was Miss Caroline Potter. Caroline Potter has been dancing since I was as a little boy, and I saw her when 12 and I have seen Caroline Potter at the age of 50 something, and she's still gorgeous, and she could teach the young people a thing or two. But we throw them out in the doldrums. So the younger dancers need to understand that respect still needs to be there for your older folks, or the senior dancers, or the senior choreographers. And even if they have stopped, you could go by them to get some information and valid information. So the transition will be smooth. Right, Lucy?
Right.
Yes. We want to start wrapping up. Do you have any closing statements that you want to make?
The National Dance Association needs to become the administrative body for dance in Trinidad and Tobago. More than you're promoting dance, but not necessarily from the executive level, and having the executive being responsible for all the activities of the dance community. What we need, we have to reorganize. We must have a board, we must have a manager, we must have staff who is working at the dance and promoting the dance, and don't just say promoting the dance is for the PRO, promoting the dance generally for all styles, ballroom, hip hop, Latin ballroom, folklore, East Indian dance, folk East Indian classical, and belly dance, whoever is there. So we, the National Dance Association, will become truly the umbrella body. And of course, we must have the National Dance Theatre Company revived so that they will be part of the preservation of the dance form in Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, Ms. Griffith. Anybody else have any last comments they want to make?
Yes. Because when I wanted to ask, in the aspect of the election, and she went out there that in order to vote, be eligible for new membership, that the executive will have to veto your applications. Can I hear how many executive members are functioning presently? Because I hear it interim this and interim that. So the interim positions.
One.
Is it? Treasurer, only one.
Only the treasurer is interim.
There are 7 members on the executive right now. 7.
Yeah.
The secretary resigned, and Ms. William Hallett, that is, assumed the position as secretary. Who's the other one?
Raji Sinha just on the executive.
No, he's not on the executive. So the president is Muslim Eldon Griffith, the vice president is Ken Wilson, the secretary at this particular point in time is Alette Liz Williams. I'm the PRO. We have the interims. Treasurer is Miss Erlyn Williams. Committee member is Earl Thompson and Marcia Gill.
And
Yes.
Earl Thompson.
And how many?
Marcia Gill.
Marcia Gill.
Marcia Gill.
How
Okay.
many persons from the executive? How much numbers from the executive in total? Nine.
Yeah.
So we
A
have
quorum,
7
a
now,
quorum
and
is
it's
5.
59.
A
Mhm.
quorum is 5. So as long as you don't go below that 5, you could function. But a
Mhm.
quorum is 5.
Okay.
So will
Well-
the executive be getting together to veto, or you just emailing the applications to each other because you can't come in the house? So you're emailing the applications for
Yes,
it
we
to
will
be
have to use
vetted.
the technology to do the
Right.
vetoing.
So processing quick.
I check.
So
I check.
therefore, I think
can do
that
that.
all of the reports can be forwarded online. People can
Right.
register in the bank or pay in the bank. So you don't have to go nowhere because
Yeah.
everything is technology now. You put
Yes.
the speech, you say the speech, people say agreed against that D. That's how they're going to be after that. But this is a very wonderful
So
occasion.
for us to do everything, I think a 2 months from now would be a good time to have the AGM.
No, but since we
Let's
have
say
we have
September.
people that is going to be giving us feedback at this particular point in time, does 2 months sound feasible? Is that enough
That's what I wanted to
time?
ask.
Yeah, I
Is 2
want to
months
know.
enough? Is 2 months
If it
enough for
starts
new
now,
members to
3
be
months.
able to vote?
Exactly.
How long you have to be a member?
So,
So that was
Ken,
wait.
I heard.
Ken,
Yes,
it
Ken,
Imelda. What's that?
you will check that and see how soon
Okay.
new members can vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I'll check in
Alright.
But
there.
then they have to
I will
get
look it
it.
out.
They have to get their application in.
Sure.
So
And of course, you
yeah,
can use this
it's
medium.
live.
Yes.
You can use this medium to get that information. Or once you have that information, we will always put it out in every program. Right?
No
I just
problem.
wanted to, someone mentioned about Tobago because it seems as though we're having a lot of conversations with Trinidad dancers. Don't worry, Tobago, your conversations are coming, discussions are coming, and eventually we will have mixed conversations. We know we are not one island, we are a twin island,
Yeah.
one country. All right?
Agreed.
Okay,
So we have our closing question.
closing
Mr. Brady.
question.
Oh, Lord.
Mr. Wilson, all genres of dance. Can you name your best female dancer over the years and one best male? I don't want 3. I'll take 2. I'll be easy with it. Give me 2 of your best male dancers and your best female dancers over the years.
Maybe Gregor, we should do groups.
You're talking about the question is to me?
Yes,
Yes,
Mr. Ken
sir.
Wilson.
Or which genre you want to get? Ballroom, Latin
Any
American,
genre, whichever,
Any
whoever
club
dances.
dancing. We have them in all over the place.
Who impressed you? Huh?
Well, we have some dancers who have gone out to Colombia and Ecuador to represent us. The Sterlings, husband and wife,
Okay.
they have been doing excellent jobs out there as professionals. And then we have some local dancers, another couple again, Darren Waldron and Melanie Paris.
Okay.
Professionals in their dancing.
Any other honorary mentions? Because I know
Yes, we have
those are your-
Kishore Gosain and Nicole Thomas. A
Right.
very outstanding couple. They have gone
Yes,
to Ecuador as well.
Nice. Because we want to hear these names. You want to know these names.
We want to know them, but what about that different genre? I don't want it to
We have
stick in the room too much.
we had a group that went out in 2020 in January to the World Salsa Congress. All right, there was Kevon, there was the other guy, I can't remember his name right now. They all went under the name Descarga TNT. They had a coach from New York, and they have done well. They got some first places, second places. Individual members competed for medals. It was about 26 trainees went it, and there was 16 members on the group competing, and they did very well.
So, Mr. Wilson,
And that was
Mr.
salsa competition, Club
Mr.
Latin
Wilson.
dancing.
Mr. Wilson, now I have done, I'm noted for folk. And I could tell you 3 or 4 ballroom dancers I love. Can you tell me a next genre besides ballroom? Because I know you've seen that. Any
Well, I spoke
dancer.
about ballroom, I spoke about Latin, I spoke about club.
I want
Those are
modern.
who I know. Modern dance, you see, modern dance. Are you winning with modern dance?
You never see a dancer that
All dance forms since you are the vice president of the
Yeah,
National
good,
Dance
thank you.
Association of Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
I didn't hear that question.
What about Camille?
I love
Camille,
you.
Camille, give me a top three, male and female.
Oh, wow. Okay. For me, Marcin Moore. Who else, boy? Beverly Ann Hines and Crystal D'Souza. Those are my three for females. Honorable mention for me is Leah Gordon. I love to see her dance.
Good mention.
For the men, I Willis. I can't remember Willis' last name.
Willis Harris.
Willis Harris. Terry David. Philip Sargent.
Honorable mention now.
We'll talk about
honorable mention for male, Sherrod Mason for me. And for female, honorable mention, I'll say Noellen Brown.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Miss Imelda, it's your time.
Again. Well, Imelda, you being the president of the National Dance Association, I'd like you to tell me your three groups.
Groups?
Yeah, you tell me groups being the president.
Northwest
That was
Lavender.
not bad at all.
Uh-huh.
Which was that?
Northwest
Northwest.
Lavender folk.
Uh-huh.
Had a little upcoming group from Sao. It's a little upcoming group that did so well.
That's our South Cultural Organization.
Right, that one.
Maybe thought that.
Modern dance.
Right.
And the young ones, I think Shuma.
Yeah.
Ibis.
Yeah.
And La Dance Carib.
Okay,
All
cool.
right. Okay. You can get an honorary mention. Well, I mean, Mark Lidan, he did say that we shouldn't be, promoting, suggesting favorite dancers and favorite groups. Mark Lidan, we are not trying to create any division. We are still promoting togetherness. We are still promoting one love. Our conversations about dance, and all of us are dancers and we love dance, or whether you are dancers, drummers, you're involved in this art. We are not promoting any kind of division. Don't worry.
This is our bacchanal segment. You get them on it. Let the brain think a little more.
Okay.
But just to add to what it is you're saying, Mindy, these are people who I looked up to as a younger dancer growing up. These are the persons who I remember seeing them on the stage, and I'm like, I want to dance like them. So it really isn't about,
It's not that we get to hear the names.
creating-
All the names
yeah.
Well, Paul, I didn't know.
I didn't know them.
So at least we'll get an idea of some of the persons we can look up to in the different genres of dance. Because Gregor and I mentioned our best male and female before, we want to give this last opportunity to Lucy before we close up to call out her three. What we want to get? Best dancers or best group? What we want to give
I
Lucy?
think Lucy is dealing.
I got right now already.
Okay, Lucy, what you
She's
right now?
prepared. She's prepared.
Good. Best male dancers, Terrence Mohammed. You know why? He's carried to all them Texaco ball and his ballroom dancing. So Terrence wasn't a formative trained ballroom dancer. But because of our folk inflections and all of the different things in the dance interwoven, we were on that floor, Michael, Lucian, Terrence, Jamal Alexander, New Parallax, Posse and thing. Right in Texaco. We are sitting down, we dancing whole night and we're doing all of the ballroom techniques. Yes. Edison Lindsay, Karen Sargent for dance, because when Karen was younger, Terrence asked her to come and dance at Arak show. His first real lift was when he danced with Rusette and lifter, that tabletop length in there. Oh my gosh, that was something else. Kailash Bedi, I met Kailash Bedi when we were doing Triveni with Priya and Pratap, Parawa. Yes, and then we went to Guyana on that boat that never reached in Guyana, in that dark milky water. We were hungry.
That is amazing.
We are so invasion, not for dance alone. You can turn your head, but we are so invasion. Let me tell you, she's a best judge that has watched her entire dance and doesn't be writing like some other judges on the side there. But she understands and knows the parallel to the African tradition in Indian diaspora because she played opposite me to Oshun in my show. Yes, Jackie Celestin. That woman used to come and teach us in Arabic, jazz and I think she must used to eat kind of them quick thing because her feet was so quick. Oh Lord, 2 hours just went with what is my name? Jamaican Rex Netterford. God rest his soul.
Yeah,
This man.
Okay, don't mind me, I'm from Trinidad, but okay.
You see that? Yes, I was Trinidad. You said
Lucy, honey, only three, honey. Only three.
Rex
Only three.
Netterford had upgrade across Queen's Hall Stadium. The basic step of the Kumina. This man had us with our arch back. The other end cry. Where he going now? Again. That went on and on. Dancers now need to understand that they need to be trained. That show must have good training there. Right. So those are the young people there. Okay, thank you.
Well, I will ask my host here to give me her favorite three
Camille,
group. She will talk
before
about
you
the
go on,
somebody
before you
else.
go there, Camille mentioned Beverly Hines George
Yeah.
Yes.
as one of your three ladies. I
Yeah,
had
she
the
did.
pleasure of doing a dance performance with her. She's great.
Yeah, she is.
Oh, so good.
She was in a national
It
dance
was a
company.
crossover.
She was.
It was a
Yeah, she
crossover
was.
between ballroom and contemporary.
But
And she still teaches dance. She's at Upper River Girls High
Yeah,
School.
yeah, she is.
And she
Yes.
does a great job in Sunfest every year. So now Mindy is going to tell us her three best groups in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, let me see. Now you know the quality of performances from different groups would have fluctuated over the years, but I would say for sure Northwest Laventille, their energy over the years has not faltered. People will say all sorts of things, but I like them for their energy when they're coming out. There's costumes, singing, drumming, everything at a level, everything that you need to put a performance together, they have. Of course, because of the choreographers that they have, the choreographers understand them and they have to bring out their best qualities. I would say most recently I would have enjoyed Shirma's group, that is Ibis.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed. I mean, when I'm looking at the group perform, I don't look at, but I try not to look at one person because you know sometimes this person might catch your eye and you look at the dance. I look at all the dancers and I found that many of them are very strong, technique-wise, performance-wise, stage presence, everything. And there was a group, hip-hop group from Point Fortin, I think. I can't remember the name, but I think Keron is his name, was part of that group at one time. And I really can't remember the name of the group. But that would be my three groups. One folk, one modern contemporary, and one hip-hop. Let me hear you, Mr. Greedy.
I love Ibis. Ibis really take it from me from south. Northwest Laventille from the north. And I will really have to say my favorite group up to today. I've never waned, have always kept their technique on point. And strange enough, they're not folk, they're not hip hop, but they're ballet, the Cascade ballet dancers. And them is Potter. I really like to see them. I think they're so clean, neat, and the technique is far excellent. And I hope from this program, thanks to Soca TV again, yay, Soca TV, that most of the dancers who are listening and choreographers who are listening really go out and take in a show. Look at the dance show, not any just folk.
Not only your genre, yes.
Because I know we still talk about the Indian dance and so forth. And when you go out and you see these Indian dance group, Mahatu, Indira Mahatu from South, she has a beautiful dance group going on there. And you got to see them, and then that will encourage you to go back to your group and carry something further. This was a pleasant evening. Thank you, people. I don't know where my evening was going. I'd like to thank
Very impressive.
I really like to
And
thank
that's
the
the-
panel. Beautiful panel, some of these great expertise. Ken Wilson, top man in ballroom. A young great and coming up, the upcoming dancer and choreographer and everything else. Camille going. The president of the National Dance Association. I admire your strength. I can't do it with $130,000. I'll be by Mr. Rowley, by Dr. Rowley's gate every morning in a bird costume with an empty nest, showing him that the nest is empty. So that's all. And I think you have a lot of dramatic and you could ask the dancers to be part of that. Go and put on some little protest where we need more money to push dance in Trinidad and Tobago. Miss Lucy, stalwart historian, I think I give you the doctorate to hold on to. You know everything and you know everything. I love you very much.
You have direct link to the PM. When we speak, you only speak about him, so you can make that impact. But in closing, I would like to show you my gown.
Yes.
And this was actually, it's mine now because it was Rachel's own, but it can no longer fit her. I accepted her outfit. Maybe Ms. Valkyrie made a notice. Someone told me to do it myself tonight. Thank you, Mindy. I taught Mindy in Bigger Martin, you know, she first dance teacher, and I moved there. What's it? It's brown, which means that earth, I'm grounded, and my national colors, red, white, and black, and my hair is black.
Y'all, it would not be Lucy if she didn't do something like this.
I know, of course.
Thank you so much.
All lives matter, and dance matters.
Yes.
Mother of the art.
Dance matter. I like that.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Please like, share.
Yes, you did.
Matters.
Please follow, please like, please share the page, and please look out for more content. Please send your suggestions to Sean, myself. In the chats, you all can send questions, and we really appreciate everybody's support for this channel and for this forum, because it's all about not just dance, it's all about our culture and taking our culture to the next level. Have a good night, everybody.
And remember, Soca
Good night,
TV.
everyone.
Woo!
Okay.